Hey guys, welcome to my Q&A video. I know I've been saying that I was going to do this video a long time ago, and I figured it's about time that I sit down and I answer all of your questions. So let's just go on and get into it, and I'm going to try and answer as many of them as I can. Question number one is, how and where do you get inspiration for your photos? The number one place that I get inspiration from is Pinterest. Did it take you a while to grow online? Yes, it did. I started being more aware of the content I was putting onto my Instagram probably almost 3 years ago, but it definitely takes time and you definitely have to be patient. What camera do you use for your photos? For the past few years, we have been shooting on a Canon 70D, which has been an amazing camera. The only downside is it is a crop sensor, so eventually we will be upgrading to like a 5D Mark III or something that is full frame. Best advice for growing your audience? Okay, this is a really good question. I've actually been debating on whether I should maybe put together a blog post of my top tips for growing an Instagram following, so let me know if that's something you guys might want to see. To answer your question, I think the biggest thing, the key to growing an audience is 1, being yourself, and 2, being consistent. Alright, best advice you can give to bloggers starting out who hope to eventually monetize. This is another good question that I would love to get more in depth with on a blog post. So let me guys know if you really want to see that, because I'd love to sit down and kind of get all that information together to share with you guys. How did you edit your photos? So in love with your work, girl. Thank you. This has been a long process, and honestly I'm still growing and figuring out different editing techniques that I like. But I edit my pictures with Zoe Labs presets, which are amazing, and I will make adjustments and kind of tweak them around to fit my own personal style. I use the preset as a foundation, and then I will just make my own modifications to them, and I'm just kind of playing around with different edits right now. Who inspires you? By the way, love ya. Love you too. A lot of people inspire me. There are countless creators that inspire me, but most importantly, I'm gonna get gushy. My mom and my husband, John, they inspire me the most. They're both amazing people, and there's a squirrel out my window. They're both amazing people, and they have always been the type of people to push me to follow my dreams and believe in myself, and so for that they inspire me the most. How tall are you? I'm 5'5". I'm actually a very, very tiny person. Majority of people who don't already know me think I'm 15. When, if you guys didn't already know, I'm 22, but I'm very, very tiny, very, very small, 5'5". What is your next trip? Okay, so this is exciting. We didn't really have any big trips planned. We had a few ones planned around the West Coast, but we just booked our flights to Mexico for January. It was yesterday, and I kept having this feeling like, get on, go check the flights, go see. And I did, and they were significantly cheaper, and I had to book them, so we booked them, and we're going to Mexico, and I'm just really excited for like margaritas and tacos and beaches, and I just really like Mexico. For those of you guys that don't know, I actually grew up about 30 minutes from the border for about half of my life. So it's a big part of my childhood and kind of who I am. Okay, are you a dancer? Because you did the Kiki dance so good. Laughing emoji. This is so funny because I posted that so you guys could laugh at me. I did not think that I would get like a positive response from that. I was just like, hey, I laugh at me, you laugh at me, it's fun. But I am a dancer. I've danced for about 11 or 12 years, and I actually was a dance instructor for the past 4.5 years. So yes, I am a dancer, and thank you for thinking my Kiki dance is good. It was, I don't know. The In My Feelings challenge just seemed like a really fun thing to do. I love learning dances and making a fool of myself. As you guys probably already know if you saw my White Chicks dance, so thank you. What's your spirit animal? Okay, this is really hard. I had to have John help me on this one. Don't hate me, it's probably a Yorkshire Terrier. I just love Yorkies so much. I know that that's not anything like, I don't know, too weird or quirky. Everybody loves Yorkies, you're sick of hearing that, but There's something about their personality that I just connect to so well. I just love Yorkies so much. They're my favorite. I have like radar for Yorkies. I feel like I can like sense them from like a mile away. Okay, next. It's like, wait, I'm gonna touch on that one more time. It's like I have like Yorkie telepathy. I've had 2 Yorkies. I'm just gonna get into this. I've had 2 Yorkies. I got my first dog when I was 3 years old, and I named him JC Glittersteiner. JC after, I think it was somebody in the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, and then Glittersteiner, I don't know. But my dog now, Tigger, she's also a Yorkie, and she is the cutest thing ever. I love her so much. I'll just put a picture of her right here so you guys get to see how cute she is. What is your favorite TV show? That's really hard. I don't think I have a favorite. I enjoy watching TV shows, but I'm more of a movie person. I'm probably just going to be listing everything on Netflix because I honestly haven't had cable or cared to pay for cable for the past 5 years. Does Shane Dawson's like episodes count as a TV show? Because they're kind of like a series. I'm going to say Shane Dawson, and we're just going to make that count because he would be my favorite TV show if he was on TV, but he's on YouTube, but it counts. Okay, how did you and John, the amazing hot stud, meet? Hashtag couple goals. We met in an ice cream shop. I was 16, I think he was 16 turning 17, because we're only about a few months apart. But it was my first job in high school, and he finally asked me on a date in December, and we've just been together ever since. There's a lot more detailed story that's kind of hilarious. He hates it when I tell this story, but if you guys want to hear the full story, we will save that for another day, and you can like bring some popcorn and I'll tell you the story. Any tips for small influencers trying to get more followers and engagement? I think the biggest thing, if you're trying to grow your engagement, you need to engage back. If you like somebody's photo, tell them that you like it. If you love their photo, tell them that you love their photo. And don't be afraid to reach out to people. Okay, what do you do for a full-time job? So, as I said, maybe like a few minutes ago, for the past 4.5 years out of high school, I have been a dance instructor. And just recently, this July, I have been able to call content creation my full-time job, and I am just so blessed and so happy. I just want to thank each and every one of you. I never thought this was something that would be possible, and it's just such an exciting journey. So thank you to all of you. This is my full-time job, and just thank you all for all of your support and your friendship. Will you sell your edits one day? I really love your style. Thank you. I would actually love to sell my presets someday. Right now, as you know already, I'm not using my own Lightroom presets. I use Zoe Laz presets, which are amazing. I definitely recommend them. But definitely in the future, as I learn more about Lightroom and I start to develop my own, I would love to have those available for you guys. So yeah, keep your eye out in the future, and I would love to get those out. Okay, how did you transition from brown to blonde? Normally that doesn't work, but you look great. Thank you. For those of you guys that don't know, I used to have very, very dark brown hair. I went through a phase where I was constantly changing my hair. I didn't know, there's something in my hair. Yeah, there was lint in my hair. Okay, sorry. I just couldn't find anything that I really wanted to stick with long term, and I kept changing my hair to like basically every color under the rainbow. I had red hair, I've had purple hair, I've had brown hair, brown almost black hair, and I've bounced around like between those and blonde a few different times, which I don't recommend. That's horrible for your hair. Don't do that. But it was a long transition. It honestly probably took 6 months to get from where I was to where I wanted to be. I also made the mistake of using a box dye, which is a horrible idea. If you are transitioning from dark hair to blonde hair, find somebody who knows what they're doing, whose biggest priority is the health of your hair, who has the time and the knowledge to do it correctly, and just make sure that you trust who's doing it. It's a lot of baby steps to get you to where you are. I recommend cutting your hair. After I went blonde, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had a really, really short bob that was about, I don't know, my hair's probably grown out a few inches since then. And that helped to get rid of a lot of the dead ends that were on my hair and a lot of breakage. So that's another tip too. Okay, hopefully I'm in the same spot. My camera's shut off. So, best advice for making your relationship last long term to marriage. I think the biggest thing is communication. I think the key is just for both partners in the relationship to have the mindset of working through disagreements, understanding that it's just a disagreement, that it will be resolved, and keeping your love for each other a priority. So that's my advice. Tips to get those desaturated warm tones. Hi from Costa Rica. Hi from Utah! My biggest tip is to change the temperature. I like to bring it up more to the warm side. That's going to give you warmer tones. And then if you are editing on Lightroom, a good way to play around with desaturation is in the HSL sliders, and just play around with the colors. You can change how saturated and how desaturated they are. Favorite country you've been to? Okay, that's a hard one. I don't know if I can answer that. I think that they're all my favorite for their own unique reasons. I don't think there's a country I've ever been to that I didn't fall in love with. I don't know, I think the people are my favorite in whatever country I go to, so I couldn't really pick a favorite. I think travel just kind of connects you to everybody in the world, and you can't really pick a favorite because you love them all the same. Okay, your biggest fashion icon. Okay, I have one, but I need to find her. Okay, that wasn't hard. Her name is Lisa Olsons. I will put her Instagram right here. Where do you get most of your clothes? They're so cute. Thank you. My favorite stores would be Urban Outfitters, Princess Polly, Faithful the brand, Levi's, Tommy Hilfiger, yeah, that's it. Next question. Do you have a specific eating plan? I don't have a specific plan that I stick to, like a diet, but I do try and eat plant-based and eliminate as much processed food as I can. I like to stick to fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, fresh meat that's not full of antibiotics and hormones and things like that. I also try and keep my diet as dairy-free as I can. Do you overexpose? Your shots are so dreamy. I don't overexpose. I have heard a lot of people say that they prefer underexposing, and I've tried that too, and that never works for me. So I try and keep it as perfectly exposed as I can. How did you learn to edit your photos and develop your brand? It is a long process. I think it's taken a lot of time, a lot of practice, a lot of frustration. You just have to keep trying new things until you find out what you like and what sticks for you. Okay, I want to know your photo taking process. How do you come up with photo ideas? So first off, I will gather a lot of inspiration from Instagram and from Pinterest, and I will kind of decide like the feel of the photo, kind of the vision that I have for maybe the outfit that we're shooting, and then I'll brainstorm. Actually, usually the first thing that comes to mind is a location. I'll say, oh, a beach would be perfect, and then I say, oh, I live in Utah. But you just kind of have to be flexible and be creative and let yourself be creative. If you're trying to recreate somebody else's photo, it never works out, it's already been done. Let yourself be creative and go with the flow. Stick to your vision, but be flexible, and I think that is where the best photos come from. So that was the last question. If you guys made it through this whole video, you are a champ, because I have a lot of footage to edit. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I answered your questions. I'd love to do another one of these videos in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!